Honorable Chairs, on the night of February 28, 2023, Greece witnessed one of the darkest tragedies in its modern history. Two trains, one passenger, one freight, sped towards each other on the same track near the valley of Tempi. In those final minutes, more than 350 people were on board, many of them young students returning to Thessaloniki after a holiday break. When the collision came, it was violent, fiery, and utterly devastating. 57 innocent lives were lost, dozens were injured, entire families were shattered in an instant. But as heartbreaking as the event itself was, the aftermath forced the nation to confront an even deeper pain. This was not an unavoidable accident. It was a foreseeable outcome of a system that had been failing for years, a rail network plagued by outdated equipment, non-functioning safety systems, understaffing, and chronic undermanagement. Warnings had been issued, workers had spoken out. European reports had flagged Greece repeatedly for failing to implement modern signaling and automatic control systems. Yet nothing changed. That night, a simple human error was enough to cause catastrophe. Not because rail travel is inherently dangerous, but because the safeguards that should have existed simply did not. A modern rail system is designed so that one mistake cannot kill dozens of people. In Greece, it did. And this is where the responsibility stretches far beyond the station of Larissa, far beyond one employee, and directly into the halls of the government. For years, successive administrations promised upgrades, audits, and reforms. For years, they reassured the public that the railway was safe. And for years, these promises rang hollow. After the crash, the government spoke of tragic human error. But the people of Greece knew, and still know, that this explanation is painfully incomplete. The deeper error was systemic. It was political. It was a result of decisions delayed, funds mismanaged, safety protocols ignored, and warnings dismissed. It was a product of a culture where infrastructure is allowed to decay until tragedy forces attention. What has been even more painful for so many citizens is the sense that true responsibility has never been fully taken. Families of the victims continue to ask questions that have not been answered. Critical reports have been delayed. Allegations of mismanagement and conflicts of interest surrounding contracts and oversight bodies remain under investigation, yet political accountability has been minimum within those 2 years. Instead of candor, people have too often received deflection. Instead of clear ownership, they have received ambiguity. A healthy democracy demands transparency. It demands the courage of leaders to admit when their system has failed and when that failure has cost lives. But what the country has witnessed instead feels like an attempt to narrow the blame to individuals at the bottom of the chain, while shielding those who shaped the conditions that made such a disaster possible. The tragedy of Tempi should not be remembered only as a terrible accident. It should be remembered as a call, a demand for a different relationship between the state and the citizens. One where safety is not negotiable, one where infrastructure is not an afterthought, one where governments do not hide behind excuses, but stand up, acknowledge their role, and make the changes they should. Those changes should have been made long before innocent lives were lost. The people of Greece deserve accountability. They deserve truth. And most of all, they deserve a guarantee that such a tragedy will never happen again. Thank you for your time, Honorable Chairs.